Good day, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to today's webcast entitled, Now You Can Invest in a Leading Healthy Fast Casual Restaurant. Today's conversation is brought to you by Muscle Maker Grill and powered by OnStream Media. To submit a question or comment at any time during the webcast, please click on the Ask a Question button on the bottom of your screen. Simply type your message into the box and click on the Submit button. All questions will be answered at the end of today's presentation. Alternatively, you can join the conversation via Twitter using the hashtag MuscleMakerGrill. We welcome Muscle Maker Grill President and CEO Robert E. Morgan as he discusses an alternative QSR investment. Muscle Maker Grill, a rapidly expanding fast casual restaurant brand promoting a healthy lifestyle by offering nutritious alternatives to traditional dishes, is seeking to raise up to $19,950,000 during its Reg A+ IPO and invites fans, customers, and supporters to invest before the company's planned NYSE American listing. During this webinar, Robert will cover topics ranging from Muscle Maker Grill's 8 different revenue streams to its plan to grow the number of restaurants by 30 to 50% annually. This presentation may include forward-looking statements. To the extent that the information presented in this presentation discusses financial projections, information, or expectations about Muscle Maker Incorporated business plans, results of operations, products or markets, or otherwise make statements about future events, such as statements are forward-looking. Such forward-looking statements can be identified by the use of words such as should, may, intends, anticipates, believes, estimates, projects, forecasts, expects, plans, and purposes. Although Muscle Maker Incorporated believes that the expectations reflected in these forward-looking statements are based on reasonable assumptions, there are a number of risks and uncertainties that could cause actual results to differ materially from such forward-looking statements. You are urged to carefully review and consider any cautionary statements and other disclosures, including the statements made under the heading Risk Factors and elsewhere in the offering statement filed with the SEC. Forward-looking statements speak only as of the date of the document in which they are contained, and Muscle Maker Incorporated does not undertake any duty to update any forward-looking statements except as may be required by law. The offering will be made only by means of an offering circular. An offering statement on Form 1A relating to these securities has been filed with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, but has not yet become qualified. This presentation shall not constitute any offer to sell or the solicitation of an offer to buy, nor shall there be any sale of these securities in any state or jurisdiction in which such offer, solicitation, or sale would be unlawful prior to registration or qualification under the security laws of any such state or jurisdiction. No money or other consideration is being solicited at this time with respect to such an offering, and if sent in response to these materials for such an offering, it will not be accepted. No securities may be sold, and no other to buy securities can be accepted, and no part of the purchase price can be received for an offering under Regulation A+ until an offering statement is qualified by the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, and any such offer may be withdrawn or revoked without obligation or commitment of any kind, at any time before notice of its acceptance is given after the qualification date. An indication of interest made by a prospective investor in a Regulation A+ offering is non-binding and involves no obligation or commitment of any kind. Muscle Maker Incorporated intends to list its securities on a national exchange, and doing so entails significant ongoing corporate obligations, including but not limited to disclosure, filing, and notification requirements, as well as compliance with applicable continued quantitative and qualitative listing standards. For additional information on Muscle Maker Incorporated, the offering, and any other related topics, please review the Form 1A Offering Circular that can be found at the following location: https://www.sec.gov/CGI dash bin / browse dash Edgar company = muscle plus maker and owner equals exclude and actions equals get company. Additional information concerning risk factors related to the offering, including those related to the business, government regulations, intellectual property, and the offering in general, can be found at the following location: http://banq.co/mm#documentation, and select the Risk Factors tab. We welcome Mark Elenowitz, CEO of TriPoint Global Equities, LLC. Mark, the floor is yours.
Thank you, everybody. I appreciate everyone attending this afternoon. We're very excited to be presenting you today with the Muscle Maker Grill IPO. The company is expected to begin the process of becoming a publicly traded company on January 10th. We look to see the shares trade on the 12th, an anticipated listing on the New York Stock Exchange under the symbol MMB. Today we have with us Bob Morgan, who is the CEO of Muscle Maker. He's going to talk a little bit about the opportunity and why this is so exciting. At the end of the presentation, we're going to have a Q&A session, so feel free to put any questions that you have in your browser, and we'll be able to answer those at the end of the presentation. For additional information on the transaction, you can visit www.banq.co, and you can subscribe to the offering there. You'll also find the Form 1A and the offering circular, as well as the risk factors and everything associated with the transaction. We encourage you to participate in the offering by viewing it there at Bank, and at the end of this, again, we'll have questions, so be sure to ask them. Bob, take it from here.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the webcast this morning. Myself, as President and CEO of the company, we also have presenting today will be Tim Betts, Chairman of Muscle Maker, Inc. And before I get started, I'd like Tim maybe to say a couple of words. Tim?
Yeah, thanks, Bob, and hello, everyone. As Bob mentioned, my name is Tim Betts, and I'm the Chairman of Muscle Maker Grill. We bought the concept nearly 3 years ago in February 2015, and we've been investing in the brand ever since. To date, we've invested a little bit over $6 million, and we've achieved a lot of great things, which Bob will cover today in our presentation. When we first looked at Muscle Maker, and prior to purchasing the brand, I tried the food, and I really fell in love with it. The food is healthy, but it also tastes great. We are reasonably priced, and if you give a guest the option to eat healthy and they aren't giving up taste or paying too much, I think that they will choose the healthy option just about every time. I personally, I'm very fortunate. I get to eat our food nearly every day. I'm in Irvine, California, and we have a corporate store literally right across the parking lot. So I hope that you find our healthy, fast casual brand as exciting as I do, and the many wonderful growth opportunities going forward, including the military. Thanks again, and I would now like to turn it back over to Bob Morgan, our CEO.
Thank you, Tim. I think let's kind of just dive right into the why Muscle Maker Grill. What makes a customer even think about Muscle Maker Grill? So I could sit here all day long, and you can read this slide here, but you know we know that obesity has doubled in children and quadrupled in adolescents over the last 30 years. You know, 2/3 of adults right now are considered to be overweight or obese. The military has implemented the Operation Live Well. Their program is to improve the health and wellness of the entire defense community. And, of course, a lot of you people probably work in corporate environments that have a health and wellness program right on the premises, and that's on the rise. But I think the most important thing I really like to ask people is first of all, how many people actually eat? And that's a pretty simple question. I think we're all going to say 100% we have to eat to be healthy. But just by eating, that gives you a lot of options out there. But the real question is how many people on the call today got up this morning and said, I'm going to go out today and eat unhealthy? Well, the answer is zero. Every one of us today, our doctors are telling us, just we want to look good, we want to feel good, we want to be active, we want to be moving, and that's the whole key right now. Everybody gets up and says, I'm going to eat healthy today. I want to be healthy today, and that's why Muscle Maker Grill. Mark mentioned early, right now we have a Reg A IPO. It has been approved by the SEC. We have 4.2 million shares that are going to be sold at $4.75 per share, and we're planning to be listed on the NYSE. Currently, we have 53 restaurants located in 14 states. You can kind of see we're really heavy in the Northeast, the Texas, and, of course, out on the West Coast. I think what's really important to note that 77% of our locations are actually franchised, which helps leverage our capital. We really have gone after a hub and spoke model, and what we mean by that, and I'll break it down like New York City. We actually like to own the major urban market of New York City, high density, and then outside of the like in New Jersey, Connecticut, just Philadelphia as an example, will typically be mostly franchised outside of that market. And what we've actually done is, we are actually going back into the market like New York City. We have a franchisee there that actually is usually number 2 or number 3 in the company sales wise, very successful restaurant, and we have an agreement right now to purchase that location. So we'll continue working on the hub and spoke. In addition, we actually have, I guess about 3 weeks ago now, we had our first international location open up in Kuwait. Great franchisees out there. I'll show you some pictures here in a minute. But the bottom line is that's a 10-store package that they have. They're actually looking for their second location right now. And we're deep into negotiations right now on Dubai and India. And quite frankly, they're kind of fighting right now for Australia. I think Australia may actually come in before these two. And we've actually got a real good company right now looking at the Netherlands. Next slide here is an actual picture of our location in Kuwait. I think you'll notice that it's kind of interesting. The guys got creative there with the Instagram, and the store opened up to great success. We have great partners out there that are doing the Kuwait locations. But if you'll notice in the location, if you were sitting in this Kuwait store, you wouldn't know it any different than if you were sitting in Houston, Texas. The location came out fantastic. One of the things that really works well for us in this market was nowhere on any of our menus do we have a pork product, and that has been very, very exciting for us and for our partners in the Middle East. It's been a great opportunity for us. Next question you're probably going to have is just what makes Muscle Maker Grill healthy. And quite frankly, we've always said it's great food with your health in mind. Tim mentioned earlier that when they came in about 3 years ago, they fell in love with the food first. And, we're not a place that you walk in and we're going to try to change your eating habits. We're not going to say, all right, you can't have any more pasta, you can't have a burger, you can't. We're actually an all-inclusive concept. So what we do is we take the foods that people love to eat and we just make those foods healthier, so that we're not trying to indoctrinate you to something totally that you're not used to eating. So as an example, if I take a burger, well, we all know that sometime this month we're all going to grab a burger somewhere. But, we're going to have a whole wheat. We're going to have a lower fat meat. We're going to have a low-fat cheese. We don't have any of the heavy mayonnaises. All of our sauces are proprietary that we make, So that's really where we come in. We say we want you to eat the foods that you like. We're just going to make them healthy, and we're going to make them still taste great. So if you'll notice right here, all of our dressings, it's taken us about 8 years to get all of our dressings. We own all of our own recipes. We have them made special just for us. As an example, if you go to a grocery store today and your wife says or your husband says, hey, you know what, you need to go in there and get some salad dressing, but make sure you get something that's healthy. First of all, you say, I don't know really what that means, but you walk in and it'll say, it might say low sodium, it might say low fat, it might say gluten-free. All of our dressings can legally say 5 disclaimers on there that we're either gluten-free, low salt, fat-free, low fat, and, you know, our sauces, now that we own the recipes, we can ship them anywhere. Those exact same sauces are in Kuwait, and those sauces are they're not shelf stable. So what that means is we have to keep them refrigerated all the time. So we don't have all the preservatives and all that type of stuff that most things have out there. So, you know, it's a very healthy dressing. We have grass-fed beef. All of our beef comes from a farm up in Vermont. Of course, we have all natural chicken. All of our foods are nutrient-rich. Whole wheat pastas, brown rice options. We don't have any deep fryers in the restaurants. Our fryers are actually air fryers. We don't have any butter or lard used in any of our products. And all of our smoothies are 100% fruit. We don't add any sugar or fillers or, any kind of corn syrup or anything to that. So that's what makes us healthy. Mark mentioned earlier about our 8 revenue streams, and all of us realize that when you go into a restaurant, you're going to head into the restaurant. You can sit down and eat. Some restaurants you can actually have delivery. Some restaurants, there might be catering, but typically all of our restaurants have 8 revenue streams. So we do have restaurants. They're beautiful. We've updated them to a new, clean look. We're in the process of remodeling them right now. We also have, and that's corporate stores. Then we have, of course, our delivery that we deliver all over up to 3 miles in our trade areas. We have food trucks that are available, and actually we're talking to the military right now about adding some food trucks on some of their bases. We also have franchising, which, the franchising locations let us get our brand out into other markets. We have the grab and go, which a lot of people think, well, grab and go is you're going to set that in your restaurant. But quite frankly, we've found that we can go out and local markets, and let's say it's a hospital, and we can cook all the food on site in our restaurants, deliver this down to the grab and go, down to the hospital, or it might be a gym. Any location, might be an office complex, which we've got some office complexes right now that add, up to $200,000 on top of our yearly sales, just by having that one little opportunity out there. We've got kiosks with, like in the stadiums. We're in Angel Stadium right now. We're the official wrap in MetLife Stadium for the Jets and the Giants. Of course, we have catering. We have a great catering program, but we like to say that we have healthy catering, and that's if you'll see the box there. Everything we talk about, you can have Mexican food brought in, you can have barbecue brought in, but really nobody out there has actually healthy catering. So that's a big opportunity for us. And meal plans are getting to be huge, especially you got soccer moms out there. They're busy as heck. They're running like crazy, trying to get the kids off. And, they've got enough to do without having to make a daily meal for their children. They can stop by, have lunch with us, pick up 2 meals, and then go home and, pack that lunch for a little Johnny, and he's got a healthy meal, and it's a whole lot easier for mom. A little more about the prepared meals. I think a lot of you probably seeing a lot of this going on, especially right now on TV. It's actually a $1.5 billion in sales that were in 2016. This is a huge market for us that we're really just kind of getting into. We've been in it for about a year. We've had some great success with it. The difference to us right now is that we actually make everything fresh in our locations, and we have a 4-day shelf life is typical on most of the products. Versus a lot of times people, they hesitate to call up and have food shipped in a box. They don't know where it came from. It's not refrigerated. It's just not fresh. And we think by staying with the fresh meal plan, it gives us a leg up. No pun intended on this lady here with her leg up going up the side of our mountain there. But we've had great success with that, and up to including $100,000 adding to our per store averages. I think that the great opportunity that's here right now, that market is highly fragmented, and it's really dominated by mom and pops, local companies that are out there. We see that there's a great opportunity for a roll up in this market by acquisitions, and we've got 3 companies that we're looking at right now, and they may only be 3 to 5 locations, but if I can take a market that I've got 1 or 2 stores in and add 3 to 5 overnight, change them to Muscle Maker, and I've already got that base, that's a huge opportunity for Muscle Maker. We have an opportunity right now with the Department of Defense where we've been in conversation with them. We currently have a location open in Fort Bliss and El Paso. Beautiful restaurants, very successful, doing very well. We're under construction right now in Fort Benning, Georgia. We actually plan to open up this Friday another beautiful location with a market fresh bar that we've put in there. The military, they've been fantastic to us. We love them to death. We have another lease already signed in Fort Bragg, North Carolina, and we're working right now on Offutt Air Force Base up in Omaha, Nebraska, and a couple of other deals that we have working. But we feel that we are perfectly situated to be a part of the Department of Defense's opportunity. Their operation live well. They want a better tasting or a healthier, better tasting product on their bases. We feel like Muscle Maker fits perfectly into that. We feel like we've got a good opportunity here, and we actually have some meetings coming up the first of 2018 to try to expand our markets here. We think it's absolutely perfect. I think they have 473 bases just in the United States alone. So you can see what the opportunity is there. And I think we all know that, you got the drill sergeants out there, and they're drilling the guys all day long and getting these guys in shape, and they're doing a fantastic job. And then they come back and they have a bunch of fried chicken and, tacos and all this other stuff that might not be quite so healthy. And we feel like, and I think they do too, I think they see that they need a healthier option out there, and we feel Muscle Maker Grill is going to be a perfect fit. We have a technology-driven rewards programs. I think, loyalty programs are as good as you want them to be. We feel like our program is very simple, very easy. You don't have to have cards. All you got to do is remember your telephone number, and we all have telephone numbers stuck in our head. All you got to do is just walk in, hit this number, and all your points will be right there. I think what's important to note, we really just started this program earlier in 2017. We've already got 20,000 people that are signed up and are loyal to us. And what's important there to point out 2 things. One is, right now we're a loyalty program person spends about $1.75 more per check than the average customer walking in off the street. So these are heavy users, and I think you can see if I got 20,000 people that last year they were giving us $1.75 less, how those things equate to more profitable locations. The other thing that's important to me in this deal is I've been in a couple of other concepts. One of the concepts I was in, our heavy user came to Muscle Maker Grill, to that other concept once every 6 weeks. So think about that. That's a heavy user, came into that restaurant once every 6 weeks. Our loyalty rewards program members are 2 to 3 times a week. So just think about how you get these people, you get them on our program, they love what we are, they love the healthiness, they can't get what we are anywhere else out there. So this program's been a great success. Let's talk a little bit about where we're at historically. This is the year-over-year, 15 months, stores that have been open at least 15 months for the third quarter 2017. These are all the corporate stores. We're currently running about 20% positive sales growth. on average. You can see the trend is definitely going up. We're excited about our corporate stores. We actually, when Tim and those guys came in and bought the majority interest, we only had 2 corporate locations, and we currently have 12. Friday we'll have 13. But, it takes a little while for these stores to get up and get running, 9 months to 12 months to get your brand in the marketplace and really get the store fine-tuned. But you see, once the customers really start coming in, you see that things are just people just love Muscle Maker Grill. So I think that's the takeaway from this slide. We're excited about our corporate store growth. So you might ask next, what's in the pipeline, Bob? What have we got coming up? We got 53 stores open right now. But if you kind of take a look here, we've got 42 more locations in the pipeline. They're California, Florida. The Georgia, of course, is Fort Benning. There is that should be open this Friday. Hawaii. I'm having a hard time getting any of our people here to want to go to Hawaii to look at sites and stuff. That's a joke. Everybody's dying to get out to Hawaii. We actually have it's really cool. We have a 10-store package out in Hawaii, and they came in. They've got a great group of people that have a lot of restaurant experience, that already have restaurants out there. It couldn't have been a better group of people for us to come in, and they actually have 3 stores that they're looking at right now. And, of course, Waikiki Beach is one that we're looking at right off the bat, which I think it makes all the sense in the world for us. So you can kind of look down the list. We got a lot of locations coming in here, but that almost I think this is about an 80% increase here this next year, and most of these should be open this year coming up. And I don't have another store in here yet for Kuwait. Until I get a lease signed over there in Kuwait, I really don't want to put that up here. But I think those guys will open a couple more stores for us there. So, okay. So that's kind of the top line, give you an idea of Muscle Maker Grill. I'm excited about it. I've been here with Muscle Maker since over 10 years now. I came in when the restaurant, there was one location in Colonia, New Jersey. When I first walked into Muscle Maker, I was a lot like Tim and those guys. I loved the concept. I loved the food. I saw the trend of the world where people have just got to start eating better. People want to live longer. We like to think that we're an active lifestyle brand. And what does active lifestyle mean is that we can be, it might be the guy that's down working out in the gym, might be. But it also, when we look at Muscle Maker, a lot of people think, well, that's biceps, so it's got to be good for gyms. Yeah, we're good at gyms, but what the real Muscle Maker is, if you think about it, the most important heart in your muscle in your body is your heart, and that's what Muscle Maker is all about. We're about putting good fuel in your body so that you have a healthy, strong heart. That active lifestyle might be a 75-year-old person that's their actual activity is being a mall walker. And the doctor's out there telling them, look, if you want to live to be 90, you want to live to be 100, you got to eat right. So, we're all about making the heart healthy, and that's where our brand really is. So that's kind of my deal. I'm excited. I'm thrilled about Muscle Maker Grill. Every day I get up, there's another opportunity. I'm thrilled that Tim and the guys have given me the opportunity to lead this concept, and I have a great team of people that we've been able to put together. We're excited about this opportunity. We're excited about 2018. We can't wait to get this thing launched. And at this time, I think Mark is going to come in back on, and let's do some Q&A.
Thank you, everybody, for attending. We appreciate all the questions that are starting to come in. I just want to go over the offering again. The company is going to be offering up to 4,200,000 shares at $4.75 per share. So that's a $47.8 million pre-money valuation. The offering is expected to close on or about January 10th, 2018, and we anticipate the company to begin trading on the New York NYSE American under the symbol MMB shortly after. So the questions as they've come, the first one that we're getting is, Actually, this has to do a little bit with the valuation. I'll go ahead and answer it. Is what was the reason for the reverse split on the private placement? And that has to do with the valuation adjustment, positioning the company to have a certain number of shares outstanding and to be able to IPO at $4.75 for a $47 million pre-money valuation. Total offering size is going to be $19.950 million, and again at $4.75 per share. Next question comes in is, what's the potential of doing expansion to the rest of the military bases? We've seen that you've made acquisitions or you've opened new stores on military bases with a switch from into a healthy eating experience. What is the potential of doing the rest of the military and all of the military bases? Bob?
Yes. When you talk potential, I'm a very positive person. So to me, potential means I see 473 locations in the United States. I want 473. But, the reality is, the military is going to really lead this charge, and I'm sure that they're going to have a lot to say about this, and we're going to have a lot to listen to. I guarantee you that. But we think it's a great blend of what they need and what we have. We're going to do whatever it takes to make them happy. There's going to be some opportunities out there. We've actually heard there's some stuff that are international things out there that are very exciting to us. We personally would like to be most of these things to be a corporate store, and we will have a division that's just for the military, as we want to give them all of the focus that we can, and we really don't want to confuse the two. So, it's a little bit different being in Houston, Texas, and being in a suburban versus being in the military. They have rules, regulations. The security there is incredible. They just have things that we need to be able and ready to do. We feel like we're perfect for that. We feel like we will have the resources to do what they need. We definitely have the ears to listen to what they want. And we will execute whatever it takes to get the military happy. And that's kind of where we're at. And I wish I could sit and say what the potential is. It's to me, it's wide open, and we just want to be a part of that group. We think it makes all the sense in the world.
As a follow-up to that, the next question is, can you discuss how the participation in the Operation Live Well rolls out in 2018? And the second part of the question, are these going to be company-owned locations, or are they going to be, or are they non-franchised restaurants, or will they be franchised? Well,
it's a good question, and to be honest with you, we really would like to keep them under the corporate umbrella. When you're dealing with the military and the government, highly specialized, very intelligent people that know exactly what's going on. And I prefer in this environment for us to have, if somebody tells me, hey, Bob, we need to get this done, I guarantee you it's going to get it done. But if I have to pass down those orders, if you will, to 3 or 4 different people, things start losing their scope, if you will. So we want to keep focused. We want to give the military all the support. So, right now they're all corporate stores. We think we can do that. But, there's going to be instances, and there's one instance right now that we are working on, and that's the Offutt Air Force Base up in Omaha. Well, we already have a franchisee there, and what they're really wanting to do is kind of a big grab-and-go with some fruit smoothies and protein smoothies, and really not have cooking on base. So in that situation, it makes a lot of sense. We have a fantastic franchisee right there, great background in the restaurant industry. They do a great job with us. So, even though we're overseeing the whole project, we're going to stay on top of it. It makes a lot of sense for us to have the franchisee actually executing, putting the food out, and putting it on the base. So that one is, some of them are going to be case by case. We've heard that they wanted us in some international markets, and there may be some times that we come in with some of the big worldwide feeders that makes a lot more sense. If they're already on the base, let's just say it's somewhere in let's say it's South Korea. If that's the case, and there's already a feeder out there, and it brings more value for the military and for us to have a franchise opportunity. Look, we're going to do what's right for the whole situation. And I think that covers Mark. Was there something?
Thank you. No, the next question, there are several questions related to actually opening a franchise. It seems that people are interested in getting involved. How much money is needed to open a store? And where can you speak to the cost for the location? Are they located in buildings, gyms, food courts? How do I find more about to become a franchisee?
Yep. You can, to become a franchisee, quite frankly, you can just go online and on our musclemakergrill.com website and just click on the link that says franchising. It will take you to the site where basically our Ben Ross, our Vice President of Franchising, you can write in for interest and we will get right back to you. It's a great opportunity in my mind as far as the cost is what you're kind of asking there. And on average, it's going to be roughly $250,000, right in that range. The reason that we can get restaurants open for such a small amount of money is we don't have the big prior banks, and you don't have to have the huge hood systems that you have in most concepts. That's where a lot of money comes in, and then you have to have the big grease traps that are installed in the ground. We actually can open up our locations for, like I like to compare myself to Subway. Subway's an incredibly successful brand, huge company, probably close to 40,000 locations, so they've done pretty well. I think it costs them about $400,000 to $450,000 to put a location in. So, look, if I can come in at $250,000, I think that for the franchisee, getting in for a lot less money is very attractive. And so that's kind of the cost of doing that. And those are the main things just to get in for a great price, and that's where we're at.
Next question is: Will Undercover Boss airing in January teach people that this is not for bodybuilders, but it's for all healthy eating? That the name might be intimidating to people who just want to eat healthy. That's much more than just muscles.
I think the Undercover Boss has been incredible for us. It was a great opportunity. Tim did a great job with Rod, the founder of the company. I think it helped people see, because in that, if you'll remember, if anybody has seen it, down at the Tallahassee location where we have a franchisee, they were actually doing the meal plans, and they were talking about the moms and the people that just need to eat right. So that has been a great opportunity for us. But I think what's really been crazy about it is that thing, I guess, is syndicated. It goes across all over the world, and we actually Australia, where we got a lead down there. Actually, we've had about 10 leads down there. But the best company we have, they saw Undercover Boss. The Netherlands, Undercover Boss. Spain, we got one the other day down in Brazil. That thing is a worldwide opportunity for us, and so I just can't say enough about Undercover Boss. I know that one of our plans next year is to go back to Undercover Boss and talk to them about maybe doing an update on how it went down, what's been going on, and we love the Undercover Boss. It was a great opportunity.
You guys with Tim and his team recently took this company over in the last couple of years, and it's gone through some significant changes based on the graph you showed that it was going through good, solid growth and turnaround. It's really a phoenix rising. One of the questions relates to that is how many muscle grills have closed since inception, and since you guys have come under control, what kind of growth have you experienced and do you expect to experience over the next few years related to the number of restaurants?
Sure. Well, since the 10-year inception, I guess it's important to note that when I came on, there was one location, and that one location happened to be next to a gym. And so when you first start out, you say, look, number 2 should be next to a gym. But as we kept growing, and that really wasn't the way to do it. So anytime you start a new concept from one, you got to throw a lot of things on the wall, and then you would step back and watch, and you see what's going to stick. And quite frankly, we have closed locations, and that's the learning process that we had to go through. It's kind of like we were 1 year old. We had one store. Well, a 1-year-old makes mistakes, and they have a hard time walking in the beginning. But I think since Tim and those guys have come on, we have really fine-tuned our process. We've hired some real estate people that have really helped us. But, in the beginning, we kind of said, maybe this muscle maker, maybe it is the gyms that are big to us. But what we found out, that the reality is, we really do best when we go to the Beehive. And the Beehive, to me, it's where the other great locations are, McDonald's, the Panera Breads, the Chipotle's. Matter of fact, we're right next door to Chipotle there in Santa Ana, California. We do very, very well there. Of course, it takes a while to get your brand seated. But the bottom line is that the people that go to the gym, they're going to find us. They're going to go that extra mile. So what we said was, we're going to get those customers anyway. Let's go get the customer. Let's go get the soccer mom. Let's go get the guy that came out from his office, and he goes down to the Beehive, and he's looking for a place, and he sees the muscle maker. So that's what we've really been able to do and to fine tune. And quite frankly, since 10 of those guys came on, our attrition is way down. But more importantly, we're looking at building between 35 and 45 locations a year. At a concept that I used to be a part of, we used to do 500 locations a year. I don't think we're ready for that. I don't think Muscle Maker, if Tim and those guys were to say, hey, Bob, let's ratchet this thing up to 200 a year, we just don't need to do that at this time. Acquisitions, I think, are going to be big for us. We'll have an acquisition department. If we can stay in the 35 to 45, let's grow our major markets that we have right now. Let's stay with the military. Let's give them the support that they have. And I want to stay focused on what's right in front of us and not just blow this thing right through the roof. We've got time, and if we do 35 or 40 a year, which is very doable for us, we've been doing that. That's a good number for us, and I'm comfortable there.
If there are any other questions, now's the time to submit them. If not, you can always follow up with us at sales@tpglobal.com. If you do have interest or to learn more about the offering, please visit us at bank.co/listings MM for Muscle Maker. As I said, the offering is set to close in early January. If you have an interest, please visit the site and indicate your order. And at this time, if there are no additional questions, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us today. And we look forward to a successful offering, and happy holidays to everyone.
Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. This does conclude today's webcast. We thank you for your participation. You may disconnect your lines at this time, and have a great day.